What up, Hoss? How are ya? It's a gray-blue, sort of snowy day here today. And speaking of gray-blue, I watched the last episode of the first half of the last season of Ozark last night, and it's really, really good. I'm not gonna say anything about it other than I noticed the color grading more than I ever have this season. It was so blue and cold, and I loved it because it was like this specific color of blue. It was like cold, wet March, not midwinter. The season looked like the feeling of like drab, over it, depressed, sick of winter, March, hints of spring, hope on the horizon, but not there yet, kind of blue-gray coloring, that kind of March feels, which now that I think of it is a very congruent with thematic story arcs in a way. So maybe that's what they were going for all along. Get me somebody on the phone! They need me out there! I wanted to talk today about our oracle or tarot reading for the weekend for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We pulled the 10 of Pentacles. And I feel that this is very appropriate with Venus going direct this weekend. And if you didn't see it, I posted a video yesterday about Venus moving direct. So we kind of recapped some of the themes that we have been learning and growing in, and which it might help you, you know, when you're looking back like, oh, okay, yeah, I did have that theme coming up, and I see that I was handling it different. I was feeling differently about it. So you can reflect with that video, and we also talked about maybe ways to start using that energy to move forward. We pulled some cards and had a whole tarot oracle message around it, so that's very helpful. Go back and watch the Venus goes direct from yesterday. So in keeping with that theme, I love that we get the 10 of Pentacles because it's all of those Venus themes right here. It's love, it's home, it's relationship, it's money, it's security, it's family, it's long-term stability that we build with the 10 of Pentacles, the kind of stability where it gives you that sort of sense of fulfillment and satisfaction because you're in alignment with all your values. I mean, I love this depiction of the 10 of Pentacles because we have a family that's together, they're happy, they have multiple generations happening. You know, the grandmother is there, the couple is there with their child, even the dogs are looking fine and in good health, and they're behaving, and they're in a luxurious environment, and it's just assuring us that all is well at the moment. Like, no matter what is happening, what things look like, you may be hitting a snag or a momentary irritation or test or challenge, but don't worry, it's all gonna iron out. When you relax, it will relax, and you can relax knowing that it's already taken care of, that there's nothing major lurking around the corner right now. It's kind of a nice message because it's acknowledgement from the universe that these things that we've been working on and healing and stretching ourselves to grow in, it's really adding up and it's paying off, and it's going to start making a tangible difference in our life. And I think it's the universe saying, like, we see you. Things are beginning to show. It's not obvious to you yet, but like, take it from us. But the numbers are coming in, and it's we've very exciting things to report. So things are going to be good. Don't worry, and you're setting yourself up for slow growth that is going to create long-term stability and value that stands the test of time. So it's not about quantity, it's about quality. You're going to be building quality things from your values, things that you choose to do, invest in, spend your time on, spend your emotional investment on. They're going to start deepening, and they're going to start becoming richer and fuller and all the more satisfying. In order to actually receive the satisfaction, we have to have had built a mental landscape and an emotional landscape and developed a sense of self-control and self-mastery that we can overcome the pitfalls that usually sabotage our enjoyment. You know, it's hard to enjoy what you have in front of you when you're still super insecure about things, or feeling really competitive and want to, you know, impress, or feeling like you're having to tiptoe around stuff. If you're fearful, you know, about things that could happen or that have happened, and so in order to really enjoy the moment, you know, it takes work, and it takes something that we have to spend time and cultivate. So if you find that you are feeling satisfaction and joy and happiness that continues on from a momentary stimulus that causes it, and you're just feeling like, wow, I'm just feeling consistently happy, and like, or consistently at ease, satisfied, tranquil, languid, not hysterical. Just having, I am not hysterical is amazing. That's where I've been at this week. I've been joking around with my friend Tracy that like I have felt so out of sorts, and like I'm in a pair of these clunky new shoes because I'm like, it's so weird not having the same things plague you that have for a lifetime. It's like, oh, I've got so much extra bandwidth. What do I do with it? Yeah, so it's so nice to not have that heaviness. And I do feel that it's also resting assured, or actually it's extending an invitation too for the person who's thinking, who's hearing this going, oh my gosh, like I didn't really know that Venus was in retrograde. I didn't know that there were all these cosmic tidal movements that were really supporting all this work, and so have I missed the window? Have I missed the opportunity? And the answer is no. Like we're all on this trip together. We're all going. You can still throw your stuff in the bag and come with us. It's just gonna take a little bit of effort and a little bit of focus. You can still get there. It's never too late. It's just that there are certain times when, you know, things are aligned just right, that the energy is giving you extra momentum. And there's always a shadow period lingering around that. So, and when large groups of people are all focused on one thing, it also creates surrounding light or power around it that can help boost you too. So go with the zeitgeist, catch the wave. You can catch up, you know, just reevaluate. Don't underestimate how much you can do in one weekend where you haul up and you get everything, you know, that you need for the weekend. Don't go anywhere, don't talk to anybody, and do some like concentrated journaling workshops. You can find anything you need to on YouTube to help you, but you can get a lot done in a short amount of time just to get clarity on what it is that you want as you go forward. I think it's also a message about putting you at ease if you are feeling like when everything's okay and all really is well and you're on the right track and there's not a lot of things that you have to fixate on or worry about anymore, or like strive to do, and you're finally able to like take a breath. It is an unusual feeling if you're not used to it. I know for me personally, Brene Brown named it foreboding joy, and I was so glad that she found a word for it, because for years I was plagued with this notion or this looming dread that if everything was going well, it was only a matter of time before something horrible happened to rip the rug out, put a wet blanket on that joy. Some crisis is gonna come up. And I mean, I grew up in our family. We just had a lot of things that just would always happen all the time, and we never went very long without something huge happening that was usually the kind of thing that would like define a family for a lifetime, or like people would maybe have those kinds of things and challenges like every 5-10 years or so, but not like at the frequency that we're constantly dealing with. There's just a lot of chaos, a lot of crises happening all the time growing up. So I was sort of always living on edge thinking, well, things aren't ever good for very long, and if they are, it's just any second they're all gonna go horribly awry. And it wasn't until a few years ago when I had met my previous boyfriend, and everything was so wonderful and life was so good, and I was like in constant fear that it was a trick, that it was this is all a trick. It's all gonna get taken away from me in some horribly painful way, which it did, but not for like 5 years. So I was worried too soon. But yeah, it was, and then around that time I read one of Brene Brown's books, and that's when she said foreboding joy, and I was like, it's foreboding joy, because it's like you're not safe to really relax and feel happy. And when I started to realize that, I could see it coming up, and it really took a long time to work that out of my system consciously, like being like, oh, this is foreboding joy. Like there's no reason to feel gloom and doom. There's no reason to sense some ominous threat on the horizon, you know, and it took a while, especially because I'm very prophetic. I have prophecies all the time, and I never know what's my own like morbid imagination, because I have that too, and I have like those like foreboding joys, and then I have these prophecies, so I never know if it's a prophecy coming to pass or whether it's just something to ignore and blow off. And when I say I have random prophecies, I mean I have had prophecies from everything from the death of my former best friend to Charming Charlie's opening up in Oakwood Commons, which was a mini mall down the street from the house where I grew up. I like had repeat futuristic dreams about this cute boutique opening up, and I didn't know what it was, but they kept having like all these like repeats of like accessories in different colors, and it was kind of basic bitch, but it was still like cute enough stuff. And I was like, oh, finally something down the street. And I would have reoccurring dreams about this for years, and I never even knew what a Charming Charlie's was until one day I had to go up to Publix for something. I was like at my mom's house, and I pull into the parking lot, and I see that in the exact suite was the store that the prophecies foretold. It has come to pass. And so like I live on edge, or, you know, I did, until I learned how to start deciphering like some of the telltale signs of like what was actually prophetic and what was just my own paranoia. So I think that, yeah, this is just another comforting message that, well done, you're going in the right direction. You know, don't rest on your laurels, don't get too wound up, enjoy a languid moment. Catch your breath, let yourself recalibrate, and enjoy, because Venus is all about enjoyment and really stopping and smelling the roses of life. It's not just that the roses are there, but that you can actually have the fulfillment of them. So if you don't slow down and you're not present and in the moment, and I mean like you're present and enjoying the moment because you don't have foreboding joy that it's all about to end or go wrong, like that's when you can, like, the roses are there and you can smell them and see them and avoid the thorns. Just grab around them. I feel pretty complete about that. All right, 15 minutes. Average, not too long, not too short. It's pretty good. Bye, guys.